everyone. Welcome to our 8th annual Education Exchange. I know I can speak for my entire team when I tell you just how excited we are to kick off today's events. Gosh, can you believe it's been 8 years, Dina? I have so many great memories of connecting with educators, school leaders, and inspiring speakers from around the world. We've presented senior superlatives, hosted I Spy challenges. We even walked the red carpet together. I can still hear the applause from last year's ceremony.
Sonia, you know we're still here, right?
Yes, of course, Dina.
But you're right. I can't believe how much our community has grown, especially in the past 2 years. You've all been working extremely hard, and it's okay if you're feeling tired or overwhelmed as we take on the next few days. That's why we created E2 in the first place. It's to refill your cup, reignite your passion, and remind you of how important you all are to students all around the world.
Yeah, Dina, I could not have said it better myself. We all look at the world so differently than we did just 2 years ago. And your ability to adapt, innovate, and see the potential in every challenge you faced is nothing short of extraordinary. And while education continues to evolve, we've been growing alongside you, embracing new priorities, classroom environments, and technology designed to make learning more accessible and inclusive for everyone.
That's right. Anyone who has attended E2 in years past knows that this celebration is about one thing, and that is you. You are the ones that make this event possible. So our 2022 agenda is filled with supported speakers, interactive PD sessions, and product demos that reflect your feedback and most requested trainings. The next 2 days are gonna be a blast.
You said it, Sonia. This year, you're going to hear from educators, guest speakers, global thinkers. They're going to discuss topics like equity, inclusion, leading through challenge, and the strengths of community. We'll also talk about the importance of fostering student well-being, both inside and outside of the classroom, and what that means for the future of education. Of course, it wouldn't be E2 without an awards gala. Tomorrow, we're going to roll out the virtual red carpet to celebrate your accomplishments and announce the winners of the We School Tech for Good Challenge.
I know, it's a lot to take in, so let's focus on today. Coming up, we've got awesome demos, incredible leader and educator stories, and a very special keynote speaker who's dedicated their entire life to advocating for global human rights. I cannot wait to get started. Okay, I'll be honest, I've never actually gotten to kick off the whole event before. Is there like a special button or something I'm supposed to do to get this thing started?
Don't worry, it's easy. We don't have a special button or anything silly like that.
It's a secret keyboard shortcut.
All right, everyone, it's go time. Clear your mind, take a deep breath, and hit Control E2. Hello, me again. You didn't think I'd forget about the E2 EdTip challenge, did you? You all know the best tech tips can make life easier both in and outside the classroom. So we invited our community, you, to share those little known shortcuts, product hacks, and time-saving Microsoft tools as part of this year's social challenge. We received a ton of great submissions. No surprise there. And I learned some handy new shortcuts myself. It was a tough competition, but we found one person whose mastery of Microsoft tools deserves special recognition, and we're tweeting at them right now. Make sure to check the link in our live chat to see who the winner is. Thanks again to everyone who participated. If you're anything like me, you're already looking for another challenge. So I've got a special announcement to make. The new Microsoft Educator Skills Challenge is going live right now. This gamified challenge will be a great opportunity for MIE experts to team up with other educators who might be interested in joining the program. Together, you'll work through modules in Microsoft Learn, and the teams who have the highest average completion by April 17th will win some fun digital swag. Head over to aka.ms/LEC challenge for all the details, and then go round up your team. Now, let's get back to the show. Today, I have the honor of introducing you to a very special guest. Our keynote speaker is a global humanitarian, civil rights activist, and community leader who has dedicated their life's work to advancing social progress and healing around the world. Please join me in welcoming Martin Luther King III.
I want to begin by first thanking Microsoft for the invitation to speak to such an inspiring group of individuals. This is a great event, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I've been fortunate enough to speak to and inspire the coming generations of change makers, both educators and students alike, using service and social emotional learning to help create positive change in their communities around the world. I'm pleased to be able to share with you some messages about the importance of positive impact and the celebration of what it means to be an extraordinary change maker. Congratulations to every one of you for all your hard work, dedication, and achievements to help inspire and mold the next generation of leaders around the world. Over the last 2 years, our world has changed. From challenges and disruptions in our education systems to obstacles in our personal lives. However, we've also seen incredible achievements and awareness through movements sparked by the need for systematic change, anti-racism, and civil rights. People from across nations are uniting to create change, as we've seen recently across the United States. My father, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., with the help of many, was able to transform the United States in a major way. In the mid-50s, he worked to desegregate buses in Montgomery, Alabama, helped dismantle segregation in Birmingham, Alabama in 1963, and worked in Selma, Alabama in 1965 to create a Voting Rights Act and fair housing legislation in the Fair Housing Act in 1968. But it was August 28, 1963, when over 250,000 idealists gathered in Washington, D.C. to hear him speak about a dream where everyone was guaranteed the right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In a world where everyone was free, rich, poor, old, young, black, white, people from far and wide gathered in a unified movement to spark action for necessary change to occur. This movement was the spark that would come to define their generation. You see, my father was a great leader, but his mission outstretched his lifetime, and it takes a movement to create lasting change. An idea through a dream can be a start of a movement of change that transcends time. Nearly 60 years has passed since he led the March on Washington, and it remains clear that there's still a need to advocate for freedom, unity, and equal rights, not only in the United States, but around the world. We must continue to advocate for service, equity, and continue to hold the belief that every voice can change the world and awaken in others the need to keep the dream of a better world alive. As our world continues to shift, there remains optimism and hope, inclusiveness and equity transition, My father believed not just of a unified nation, but also of a world where all people are created equal and given equal opportunity. However, this work is still not complete. The dream for a better world lives on, and we as a global community must come together to brighten the darkness that is brought on by inequality. We must push towards unity for all. I have hope for a world without poverty, oppression, and neglect, where everyone gets equal access to education and opportunity, where all injustice is treated with the same intolerance as if it were happening on our own doorsteps. We must continue to educate the young people in our lives about the inequalities around the world, from global human rights, such as access to clean water, to civil rights like equal protection for race, gender, sexual orientation, and religion. I have great hope for the future because of what young people are doing to create change and the inspiration you, as their teachers, demonstrate. Now more than ever, the fight against racism, inequality, and discrimination is one that must continue to be fought. Where kindness must shine brighter in the face of a world of negativity and obstacles that are built around the discrimination. We must learn to work together to eliminate poverty, build community, and speak out for global human rights, helping one another to build strong foundations resilient enough to withstand ages. If we continue to work collectively and educate those around us of what can be achieved together through service, the movement becomes about how far we can go instead of where do we start. You see, in order for the dream for a better world to continue, it must be shared. The dream is alive in the next generation, and one of the ways the message can be spread is through education, specifically through inspirational and hopeful teachers, as some of the most important role models on our planet. You, as educators, continue to inspire young people and the lives they will lead as they grow. You spent a great deal of time with you, learning and understanding that together change is possible. The impact that you as educators can have on students is an imprint on which shapes their path towards adulthood. I believe the power of education and learning can unlock the potential of young people all around the world, and an education who understands their role in leading students is invaluable. That educator certainly is. I remember when I was in first grade, I had a teacher who I will always remember, Ms. Montgomery. You know, it was because not only what she taught me, but how she taught me. She walked tall. She was a very proud woman, and she had a commanding presence. We were all inspired by her leadership, which is something teachers surely do, inspire, helping young people understand the value and importance of their lives, navigating positive and negative experiences, helping them to achieve more now so that it may help them to have a bright future in the world we live in. Our world is full of change. It is more evident than ever in our classrooms throughout this shift into a virtual world, just as we're gathered virtually here today. I mentioned earlier about the need to educate our young people about inequality around our world. And there's no time like the age of information. We've been given a unique opportunity where technology is at our fingertips. And with it, we must use it as a tool for good. Especially with young people, technology can help bring about fundamental change in one another, our communities, and those around the globe. We can use technology to create change around the world, connect with fellow educators and like-minded change makers that want to see a difference made. If we keep compassion and access as key components of how we use our technology, then it can continue to be the bridge between our world today and the world we are creating for tomorrow. Overall, I'm thankful to you as educators for what you do each and every day, regardless of the personal backgrounds or challenges you and your students may face. You lead this growing generation through the waters of negativity that young change makers must swim against. You've continued to persevere through a global pandemic, civil unsettlements, and the challenges that have presented uncertainty in your lives. You've endured by holding true to your profession and passion, by helping young people navigate their obstacles in the classroom and at home. Your accomplishments as leaders and as human beings deserve to be celebrated and encouraged. We never know what we are fully capable of until we are faced with conflict and challenge. But we must take a stand, because when we do, we understand that a better world is possible. It is a critical time. We must work for change, and we must be the change. There's no better way to promote peace and bring about a positive shift than to show unwavering optimism in the face of negativity. We as human beings have just begun to scratch the surface of what we can do. So in closing, I challenge you to continue to be the inspiration that this next generation of young people see. Continue to see the very best in your students and the achievements that working together can create and push them toward a future full of possibility and change. The most important tool we can use to help spark permanent and progressive change is kindness. And by showing each other kindness, a better world is truly possible. It's okay to have differences, but we do not have to all agree, but we must learn how to disagree without being disagreeable. My father said that faith is taking the first step, even when you cannot see the whole staircase. And by leading our next generation of leaders, that first step becomes a little brighter. Thank you, and may God continue to bless you always.
Wow, what an inspiring message. Hope and kindness can really drive meaningful change in our classrooms and our communities. Next up, we'll hear from Meza Wheel and Rana Sabidin on best practices to support your colleagues and refill your cup.
Hello, everyone. I know that the last 2 years have been difficult for all of us. However, today we're going to talk about how we as educators and leaders can refill our cups. I'm Meza Wheel from Ali bin Abi Talib, Maqasid, Lebanon. I'm the English coordinator from K to 12, and I am also the English teacher for grades 9, 11, and 12.
Hello everyone, my name is Rana Sabidin. I'm the principal of Ali bin Abi Talib College, a K-12 school located in Beirut. Hello, May. What does well-being mean to you? Where do you see differences or similarities in the ways you support your personal and professional well-being?
Well, well-being is the experience of having a good health, having a good mental health, and I guess prosperity. It includes having good way of life or the quality of life. And this is maintained through different and various actions that we do in our everyday life. Well, to maintain my well-being, I always surround myself with my beloved ones. I enjoy outdoor activities that I can do with my stepkids, with my pets. I have a dog. I also like reading a lot because it kind of diverts my mind from any negative thing that is going around me. However, lately, since 2019, since our political and economic upheaval that took place in Lebanon, maintaining well-being was kind of difficult, and COVID-19 came to be the cherry on the top. So we had to be quarantined. Everything was altered and nothing was the same anymore. We are trying to maintain or to have a better well-being. So this is how I see it, similar and different. So I understand that your well-being comes from the school itself.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
that's really nice.
I do maintain my well-being by really taking care of everything at school. Starting from my responsibility, I have to cater for all pupils' needs at school, all stakeholders' needs. Starting from 2 years ago, we faced a lot of challenges. We had so many crises, economic crisis, political crisis. We faced, in addition to COVID-19, all pupils faced financial problems. So we have to cater for everyone. We have to solve others' issues and problems. May, the last 2 years have demanded a lot from educators and their students. How have you seen the needs of your classroom and your school community change?
Well, it has changed tremendously. We've noticed, and I guess all teachers all around the world would agree with me on this, because the learning loss is the most to be depicted, especially in different skills. As an English teacher and as an English coordinator, I've noticed that the learning loss in the reading skills, critical thinking skills, written production skills, as well as oral communication skills. So the major change is the kids lacking different types of skills that can aid them to move on or to do a certain kind of progress in their academic year. Not to mention that kids have grown over dependent and reliant on their parents, especially after being quarantined for a couple of years. I have also noticed that lots of kids have suffered emotionally because, as you know, lots of kids have lost a dear one due to COVID-19. So the change that I'm talking about is both mentally, psychologically, and academically. So as a teacher, I thought that it's the time we change how we look at things, probably because we have to come up with more engaging activities, more interactive learning, to integrate more differentiation, to cater all our students' needs, and as well as to maintain my career and professional development. So it's a challenge, and I'm a person who likes challenges, but it changed the way I look and consider things. After listening to all the types of challenges that we educators are facing in our classes, what can you as a school leader do to help educators refill their cups?
So what we really do is to help educators overcome their psychological, social, and personal frustrations by providing them with social emotional learning workshops in order to help all the school community to overcome and these challenges and to solve their problems. We train them to be mentors and give them more leadership opportunities to lead certain projects and programs, be engaged in positive communications, active listening, and so on.
What can school leaders and educators do to help students feel more comfortable and supported in and outside their classrooms?
Actually, we have to work on both their social, emotional well-being, and their academic issues. What we did is we provided programs for extracurricular programs and projects for students to be engaged in. We also developed a writing center for our students to enhance their writing skills. We helped all our teachers to develop intervention plans, and we developed a monitoring system to detect students' absences to ensure that the intervention plan is working efficiently and effectively. What our learners face in Lebanon sometimes is the shortage of electricity and the internet connection. What we did is we provide simultaneously online sessions and synchronous and asynchronous sessions as well in order to help our students recapping what they missed. I would ask you, how can teachers continue building positive relationships with parents and guardians?
Well, the relationship between parents, guardians, and teachers is a very essential one, especially because we are in this together, and our main concern is the kids' social emotional well-being, their academic progress. Teachers always have to work hand in hand with parents, guardians, in order to achieve the success or the best result that they desire from their kids. So finally, what advice do you have for educators and school leaders as they take on the second half of the school year?
We should always be the source of energy, of positivity that inspires all school community, all stakeholders to proceed, to commit to continuous improvement, to innovation, to perseverance, and to persistence. And always believe that tomorrow is always a better day. May, I would ask you as an educator, what do you give as advice to other educators?
I believe that even the word impossible says I'm possible. So believe in yourself, believe in your kids, and be hopeful because, as you said, tomorrow is always a better day. So remember, everyone, that we are all in this together. Whatever the school year brings us, your support team of leaders, parents, students, and colleagues has your back. We support you from Lebanon, from Ali bin Abi Talib Al-Maqasid School. We love you all.
We all need something different to refill our cup. Whether it's a reaffirming pep talk, well-deserved day off, or a simple thank you from a student. Taking care of yourself is what empowers you to support your colleagues, your family members, and your school communities. Remember, in order to show up for your students, you have to show up for yourself first.
Over the last few years, we've seen your students' needs change alongside your own. Every learner deserves the opportunity to reach their full potential and have access to the tools they need to get there. And that's why our teams at Microsoft and our extensive partner ecosystem have been working to bring technologies designed to make education more inclusive and more equitable for all.
Up next, you're going to get to know a few of these new tools and program updates in a little segment we like to call E2 Expert EdTips.
If you were here last year, this theme song might jog your memory. Hit it.
It's E2 Expert EdTip.
After all 5 EdTips, you'll join Microsoft's Mike T to get an exclusive first look at Reading Coach, the latest feature addition to reading progress in Microsoft Teams.
We can't wait to see how this technology is going to make a difference in your classroom. Over to you, Go.
It's E2 Expert EdTip.
Hi everyone, I'm Gokoming, a primary educator from Malaysia. Today, I would like to share one tips with you all by using Reflex and Feeling Monster in Microsoft Teams. As you know, expressing emotion isn't easy. Like all life skills, it needs practice, practice, and practice. So today, I would like to share with you how we are going to address student emotions. First of all, we would like to click on the new conversations and click 3 buttons over there and initialize our Reflex apps. After starting the Reflex app, we can choose the questions, set the privacies and the durations, and we can explore the emotion here. As you know, Feeling Monsters helps to personalize complex feelings and help students to bring their emotion to life. 50 plus emotions provide scaffoldings for emotional fluencies and vocabulary, and students can click from here to identify their emotions. So after student feelings of these reflex check-ins, teacher can explore their emotions easily by looking at this overall emotional identified by the students. Besides that, we also can use Feeling Monster with insights, and we can know the students feel optimistic about their learning in these weeks, as you know, and we can also track their student activity easily by clicking on this to look into deepers, and as we know, the student feels confidence during this class. With Feeling Monster and Reflex, we can help students to build self-awareness, confidence, and empathy. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Libby, a Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert and the Digital Lead at the Oak Specialist College in the UK.
And I'm Johnny, a Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert and a Digital Ambassador at the Oak Specialist College in the UK. This year, the resources from the Microsoft Educator Centre has moved to a new home. Everything needed for CPD can now be found in the Microsoft Learn Educator Centre.
The new features in Learn have transformed how we personalise CPD for our staff. Using collections, we can create a variety of bespoke pathways.
New staff joining the college now have an easy-to-access CPD pathway. This provides custom professional development, technical skilling pathways and certifications to help educators and school leaders develop 21st century skills. Educators who have an account in the MEC can link their account with the Learn Educator Centre to keep all transcripts and past achievements.
Creating collections in Learn for staff's needs allows for targeted, effective CPD while saving time.
And taking control of my own CPD allows me to develop skills reflecting the needs of my learners.
I was able to learn how to utilise Flipgrid effectively using the Microsoft Learn Educator Centre, making me a more effective educator and putting me in control of my own CPD.
Visit the Microsoft Learn Educator Centre to see the incredible range of certifications to take your teaching to the next level.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about live captions available in Microsoft Teams. It's really a boon for school like us for 4 simple reasons. First of all, we have some kids who come from families where parents understand only their mother tongue. We make sure that we do all our important communication with our parents as Team Live events. Parents can then use Teams live caption to understand what we say in English in their preferred language. In case of our parents, this is usually Hindi and Urdu, and to our blessings, both these are available as language selection options in Teams live event. Second reason, many times our students do collaborative projects with international students. Though the students of both countries at times may understand English, but due to difference in their pronunciation, accent, and speed, it leads to confusion and the clarity of communication is compromised. This is where the live caption, even in the normal Teams meetings, are a blessing. Thirdly, the captions are also a special privilege for our children with hearing impairment. It's really very helpful for them. Last but not the least, our teachers also use subtitles in mother tongue while they explain their content in English using subtitle options available in PowerPoint as well. At the end, I would just like to say that it's super easy to add translation boon to our live events using live captions in Teams. It supports conversions in up to 6 languages, which means we can actually cater to many multilingual families and students. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Naoki Cross. I'm teaching at an elementary school in Japan. Today, I will talk about breakout rooms in hybrid classes. In hybrid classes, children often learn from teachers. Wouldn't it be great if we could create ways for children to learn from each other? The proper guidance of the group work on breakout rooms will be a means to realize it. The first method, breakout room in hybrid classes, make it easier for groups to collaborate on PowerPoint and come up with ideas. Also, it will be easier for teachers to facilitate by having their children talk about problems with each other in conference chat. With a breakout room, children can talk directly with each other in hybrid classes. The second method is to guide on proficiency level using breakout rooms. By setting up several rooms according to the degree of retention of learning, it will be easier to know the guidance of the individual needs. In addition, if the relationship among participants in the class is good, there is a way to help them who are having difficulties in learning. In that case, they can create an opportunity to solve their problems. Breakout room can create opportunity for all the participants to communicate in hybrid classes. By all means, let's use breakout room to realize better guidance. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mark Sabry and I'm the Head of E-Learning at Emmanuel College on the Gold Coast, a beautiful part of Australia. Education Insights Premium is a fantastic tool that can help improve student wellbeing and academic success by transforming your school data into meaningful and actionable insights. The Insights dashboard is designed to draw your attention to important information across your organisation. It also provides you with context to better support the students and educators in your institution by reviewing areas that could benefit you in giving attention to. Education Insights Premium includes everything available in Education Insights today, with more data gathered for an extended period, with the ability for school leaders to get an organisation point of view and tools to sample the emotional well-being of the community. Metrics in the Insights dashboard also show details about engagement, workload and reading progress for your organisation, helping to identify opportunities for improvement and also areas in which to celebrate progress. Having a clear picture of how your institution is performing, you can plan resources more efficiently and copy, scale or adjust your strategies across your school or district to maximise the potential for learning and engagement. The more meaningful data we have, the more we are equipped to make better decisions faster. So I encourage you as leaders in your schools and districts to go and check out how Education Insights Premium can benefit your organisation.
Helping kids learn how to read is one of the most challenging topics that an educator has on their plates. I started using reading progress in the fall of last year, and what's nice is not only can we have more students being assessed at the same time, but the students themselves want to read more. They love being able to read out loud, they love knowing that they're on camera, they love being able to watch themselves. They are asking for more opportunities for reading progress assignments, taking ownership of their learning, and all of the tools in reading progress really let them do that.
The seasons, the Atomos pair, and all the natural.
These words were the most challenging for you. Select any word to tackle them again. At, must, fear.
Atmosphere.
You are making your brain stronger. Nice work.
Reading Coach is truly a dream come true for teachers. I can have a class of 30 students all getting feedback and individualized instruction, and now they know how to read a word that they were struggled with.
They get almost all of the water they need from their flexible, omnivorous diet.
One of the things that I love about Insights is that I can just scroll right down and it shows me at a glance the words that students were struggling with. And I'm able to see student by student what their needs are, and I can pull them from small group instruction based on what they need. When I see the future of reading progress with Reading Coach, I really see how the students are going to respond. They want to do better. They want to improve upon their last attempt when usually they don't have that opportunity. The fact that they can practice reading out loud in a safe space and build their confidence is one of the best things about Reading Progress.
Hey, we're so excited to be able to tell you about the new updates with Reading Coach and Reading Progress. And I'm Mike Tholfsen. I work on the Microsoft Education product team. Today, I have the star of this video with me, and that is Angela Milverstead from Chino Valley. So Angela, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Angela, and I am an elementary instructional coach, which means that I support classroom teachers, usually from like ages 5 through age 12, and whatever teachers want to try that's new that's going to help improve teaching and learning in their classrooms.
Thanks, Angela. So tell us, how does Reading Progress inform your role as an instruction coach?
One of the roles that I have as an instructional coach is to help teachers see ways to gather data and use it to improve student learning. Reading Progress is great for that in many ways. One of the things that I love about it is that it collects the student video, so teachers can analyze facial expressions of students as they're reading, just as if we were reading side by side with them. The other great thing that Reading Progress does is it gives us the AI analytics of the students reading. We can see right away what the miscues are, what words the students omitted, and what words they went back to reread, and we code that as repetition. And the AI does all of that for us, so teachers can spend time planning lessons instead of trying to gather the data and analyze the data.
Now I want to ask, have you seen Reading Progress help students with growing their confidence and independence?
Absolutely. In the classrooms where I'm working and supporting teachers, we have students who used to be completely reluctant to read out loud in front of their peers at all. So when teachers would call on students to read, these are the students that would not ever want to be called on, not ever want to read out loud. And I've seen their confidence grow. I see when they're making the recordings, they're smiling as they're reading. And I've even seen students who now, when it's their turn, when they're given the opportunity to read out loud in front of the class as they're reading a novel, they are eager to do so because they feel like their confidence has grown, like they are better readers because of what this opportunity has given them.
I love the part about the students smiling more in particular. That's awesome. Now, could you tell us about your favorite Reading Progress story?
Sure, absolutely. I'm working with a group of young students, and their teacher has them recording a reading passage once a week so that she has time to review them. And we have students coming up to me because they know that I watch their videos too, and they go up to their classroom teacher saying, "Can I do another one? Can I do more?" And the teacher and I are looking at each other like, we do want to check your work. How are we going to keep up with all the times that with all the opportunities that you want to have for Reading Progress? So I'm just seeing that students are really excited. They're asking for more reading passages, and they know that this is helping them improve as readers.
So one of the reasons that we actually worked on this new Reading Coach tool was because we wanted to let students practice independently more. And we've been hearing similar stories to what you just said, where students are asking for more practice all the time. We've had educators that have said, I've been doing reading fluency for decades, and we've never had students ask for more passages. And so with Reading Coach, the idea is now students can get real-time practice opportunities based on what they were just reading. And so you've seen early versions of Reading Coach. What's your reaction?
I have to tell you, the first time I saw Reading Coach, I had tears in my eyes, and they're just seeing the promise of having students get real-time feedback and being able to self-select how they want to grow as learners, and that instantaneous feedback of this is correct, this isn't, this is correct, this isn't, try it again. It's as if they had me as a reading coach sitting next to them, helping them along the way and helping them build their confidence and knowing that, yes, I'm more successful because I used Reading Coach.
Yeah, we love that you had that early reaction to Reading Coach, and we've seen similar reactions to educators and students that have had early access to Reading Coach. The other thing I'll mention for folks is that, and you saw in the video briefly, we also have Reading Coach coming to Immersive Reader. That's going to be coming later this summer. What that means is even if you're not using Teams, you could be at home practicing with Immersive Reader and Reading Coach right there. Parents can work with their kids, students can do this independently, and now you can practice reading anywhere. And that is very exciting for our team because that's been the ultimate dream with Immersive Reader. So Angela, last question. How do you think tools like Reading Progress and Reading Coach will help literacy in Chino Valley, your district?
I think the potential of what this can bring to students in my district and students in every school district is absolutely phenomenal. The fact that students can have something that they want to read, learn how to read it by listening to it and being able to practice is just an amazing tool. I think when teachers see what's coming, it's going to be, Angela, help me do this now. I want this now for my students. I want them to be able to have access to these tools so that they can become stronger readers.
Thanks, Angela. We're just as excited as you are to get Reading Coach and Reading Progress out to all the schools around the world to see those same type of impacts. Now, what I'm going to do next is show some brief demos of some of these new updates for both Reading Coach and Reading Progress. First up, I'm going to be showing Reading Coach, which is going to be enabled in Microsoft Teams. I'm here in a Reading Progress assignment, and in the lower right, you can see this new Reading Coach option. I can just turn this on, it'll actually be on by default. I can also edit and tune the Reading Coach in a way that works best for my students. So I'll click Edit here, and you'll have a dialog that can customize the different types of supports you want for the Reading Coach. You have the ability to play the words, stretch the words, see a picture like a picture dictionary if you want. You even get to choose the voice or the prompt style if you have older students versus younger students. Now let's see how this works inside of Teams with Reading Progress.
The atmosphere and all the natural processes of Earth affect where people are able to live. Geography is one of a combination of factors that people use to decide where they want to live.
These words were the most challenging for you. Select any word to tackle them again. When you're ready, press the microphone and read the word out loud.
Atlantic.
That's not quite it. Give it another try. At. Mus. Fear.
Atmosphere.
You're getting there. Let's read it again. Atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
You are making your brain stronger. Nice work.
The other big announcement that we made with Reading Coach was that we're going to be integrating it into the Immersive Reader later this summer. And it will now show up in different M365 apps like OneNote and Word Online and Teams and Forms and many other places. So I'll launch the Immersive Reader, and then I'll go into Reading Preferences and I'll turn on Reading Coach. And I get a nice little prompt that lets me get ready to read, and then the play button will turn into a microphone and let me read out loud.
They get almost all of the water they need from their flexible, omnivorous diet to protect themselves from the heat.
And here I get a lightweight report similar to what you see in Presenter Coach. And when I click Practice Words, it launches the Reading Coach.
These words were the most challenging for you. Click the card to tackle them again.
Omnivorous.
The next exciting announcement we made was about prosody, or reading with expression. Reading with expression is a key part of fluency. You have reading speed, accuracy, and expression. With our new prosody examples here, you'll also automatically be able to have auto-detect on things like monotone reading, or whether a student stopped for 2 seconds in the middle of a passage, whether they didn't pause for a period or comma, or maybe they didn't inflect their voice on a question mark. Prosody will be a new component that will be coming to Reading Progress later this spring. We've also recently rolled out Actionable Insights, which is a major time saver for educators. So if I scroll down here to the word cloud, challenging words, there's a new button that says Create Challenge Assignment. What we've done is we've made it really easy for an educator to just click a button here, and it's going to generate a word list as an assignment based on some of the challenging words. And so I'm just going to click this button here. Now it's creating the assignment. Now what you see is it launches Reading Progress all set up to make a new assignment. It puts the top challenging words automatically in a list right here. And now I'm ready to go. So I just go hit next here. And then I fill out my assignment and I can put whatever information I want and click assign. So this is a huge time saver for educators who are looking to do that. In addition, you can create a challenge assignment on a per student basis. So that means you can personalize that word list per student. Another Insights related feature that I feel could be fairly revolutionary in the way that we look at reading is Phonics Rules. We've taken all of the different words that are mispronounced or not, and we can break down the phonemes, which are sound components. So for example, the word bat, b, a, ch. Those are 3 different phonemes, and they map to all sorts of phonics rules. Especially in the English language, there's a whole bunch of different rules that can be complicated. We're providing educators this Phonics Rules dashboard that breaks down consonants phonics rules, vowels phonics rules, most challenging, and you can easily see the accuracy at a phonics level and a rule level. And then you can also create that challenge assignment based on those phonics rules, and then it will actually generate a word list with similar words that are different to the actual words, but practicing in the same spectrum of all these different phonics rules. This will be rolling out in spring of Northern Hemisphere and for English only at this point. The last thing I'll mention is that we have 67 new auto-detect languages, not only for Reading Progress, but also Reading Coach when that comes out. We're at over 100 total languages and locales, just some examples of the brand new ones on the screen here. And for those of you that like lists, here's the list of all the new things that are out today, what's coming in the spring, and then what's coming in the summer. And a note, that is Northern Hemisphere. So I hope you really enjoy these updates we're sharing today with Reading Coach and Reading Progress. Okay, so that gives you a little summary of all the different product updates that we're working on that are going to be shipping in the coming months.
We are so excited here in Chino Valley to see those updates. I'm telling you, when those hit, I know what I'm doing at work the next day.
Thanks, Angela. So that's all we have today. We hope you have a great rest of your E2. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Hi, everyone. Got this envelope handed to me, and it looks like today's message is from Flipgrid. Okay. Dear educators and leaders. Oh, that's you. If you're part of the MIE Expert or Showcase School programs, we've got a Flipgrid mixtape full of resources curated to your specific needs. Check it out to find curriculum partners, apps, and lots of classroom inspiration. We hope you're having fun at E2. All the best, your friends at Flipgrid. Wow, what a day. I hope you felt all the love and support coming from our guest speakers, Microsoft team members, and your fellow educators and school leaders. We are moving forward together, and seeing so many familiar faces and new friends connecting in the chat reminds me that no matter the distance, E2 makes a difference.
I couldn't agree more, Sonia. We had so much fun learning alongside you today. Before you all set off to explore the professional growth tracks, let's talk about what's in store for tomorrow. Over to you, Christina.
Thanks, Tina. As you can see, tomorrow's forecast calls for inspiring stories, engaging discussion, and 100% chance we're going to roll out the virtual red carpet. First, you'll hear from Carol Ilagan, a Rainforest Investigations Network Fellow at the Pulitzer Center. And then we're going to have a few members of our team join you for a fireside chat. Of course, we're going to end the day with our much anticipated awards gala. And a few surprises you'll just have to see for yourself.
I don't know about you two, but I can't wait to start handing out more awards. I mean, I love my job, but I think getting all dressed up to celebrate educator achievements is my passion. Speaking of which, I've got to find like a glue gun to put the finishing touches on my gala look. So Get out there and start your PD journey. Then take a step back, recharge, and we'll see you all tomorrow for another day of learning, sharing, and growing together.
Bye.
Bye.